Well, then, no one expected that to happen. Um, Martinsville never fails to deliver some dramatic racing there at the end. Um, that's like several years in a row now that we've gotten some crazy ass racing for the win. But this one is like probably even more just as dramatic as last year. Um, so you all know what happened last year between Hamlin and Chase. That's over with. It's squashed. We're done talking about it. Um, uh, this time it's between Truex. One isn't involving Truex anymore. And Logano. And of course, people are just quick to blame Logano and hate on him because it's Logano. So the only thing that he did wrong is be Logano. Because he did nothing wrong. He raced for a win and to be in the championship four. No driver settles for second. People always are making the excuse, but Truex ran him clean. I'm like, who gives a shit if he ran him clean or not? Racing is not trying to protect another driver's feelings on, oh, I should drive him clean to get some respect. Like, someone said he should have shown Truex respect. I'm like, what respect? What is the respect that he did? Should he be given? No leader is safe at Martinsville if the second place driver is that close to you. You should know this from last year's race. Logano, I knew he was going to put the bumper to him, but people act like he wrecked them. Like, he put the bumper to you, did the bump and run. Truex got loose. They both got into each other and battled it out. Basically drag raced it until the finish line. And Logano came out on top, so. And people are complaining like he got wrecked out when he still finished top 5. Like, what is with Truex and overreacting in all of his interviews lately? This one was just way over the top, even with his crew chief, too. Both have anger issues, and this is just typical Toyota drivers in general. Truex is like, I'm going to keep him from winning a championship. I'm going to beat him. And this is basically going to be like the Matt Kenseth Logano feud 2.0. Truex, people say Truex should punt him and at Texas and this and that, or at Phoenix, or whatever, and to get his revenge. I'm like, revenge from what exactly? People complain that they want hard, beaten, banging racing like the good old days that they keep fucking complaining about. But when it actually happens at a short track where it always happens, they complain about it all because of just who was involved. If it was anyone else, they wouldn't say a damn word. Like, Truex has been involved in several incidents this year with Jimmy and now Logano. Like, Truex, someone messaged me on my Instagram, fan Instagram account saying, Truex is such a respectable guy. I'm like, no, a respectable guy overreacts and drives through another car on the cooldown lap just because he accidentally hit you and spun you out. Going for a win. Notice how both these instances were going for the win at the checkered flag. People were like, this was Truex's race to win. I'm like, if it was, he would have won. Plain and simple. It's, as Chase says, it's not yours until you cross that finish line and checker flag flies. So, He knows all too well about being screwed over. But Truex was not screwed this time. He just failed to drive and race hard like Logano. So, people can say what they want about Logano, but that guy is one hell of a racer. Like, I don't blame him for doing what he did because he did nothing wrong. People are like, he did a dirty move. And I'm like, since when was a bump and run dirty? That makes like zero sense. Again, like if it was any other driver besides Logano, it would be a complete. And someone even asked me, like, well, what if Chase was in Martin Truex position? He lost the race away. I'm like, honestly, I would not be pissed. Someone asked if I would be pissed if that Chase was in Martin Truex position. Like, honestly, I would. I don't really care, to be honest. I'm a huge Chase fan, yes, but if it came down to the wire like that, I would be like, that's some damn good racing. Even, yes, I would be mad that Chase lost, but damn, that was some good racing. Like, how can people complain about that finish? Like, if you want uneventful, clean racing and being prime and proper and not passing and whatsoever, no beating and banging, then go watch Formula One or just run in Formula One, Truex. He can't seem to, like, he said, well, Joey won the battle, but he won't win the war. I'm like, with that attitude, you won't either. So, if he wants to win another championship, which I know he won't, he needs to focus more on himself and his team that's shutting down over a possible retaliation and suspension. So, if you haven't learned anything from 2015 after Martinsville, then you're just ridiculous. Kenseth, even though what he did was a cheap shot, Logano deserved it at the time. If Truex retaliates now, then he loses all respect from like pretty much everybody. And it's just sad that his fans don't see how much an immature chicken shit he is. It seems like he's getting worse at being a sore loser than Kyle Busch, and that's saying something because Busch is really bad when it comes to losing. But and Busch in his interview, oh my god, I'm like, you're such a fucking hypocrite, dude. It's like Truex got chicken shitted at the end there. I'm like, you want to talk about driving dirty and being a chicken shit and make a cheap shot move? I can give you a whole list of incidents where you gave a cheap shot move throughout the season, so I won't be talking. Yes, Larson roughed you up at Chicagoland, but he didn't wreck you. That's racing. You completely dumped him, turning him, but he still can finish second, so no, that was a cheap shot move. What Logano did was not. I'm not a Logano fan whatsoever, but I appreciate a damn good finish and good racing when I see it. So, zero respect for Truex because he's a little chicken shit and acting like an immature child. And someone was trying to compare and say Chase acted the same way at Martinsville last year. Like, where is the similarities? What incidents? Chase was wrecked out on purpose. Truex was not wrecked out, nor was what Logano did on purpose. He was just running for a win. If Truex can't handle that, he should not be running at all. So, with this kind of mindset, he'll never win a race again. So, or a championship, not a race, but a championship. He'll be stuck as the driver with one championship and acting like he's like the top shit of the sport when he's not. So, He's pretty much turned into Kyle Busch, which is really sad because I used to root for Truex. And his attitude completely changed. And Karma, I hope, kicks him in the ass for the rest of the races because no driver who acts like that deserves to be no champion who fans claim is respectable to act like that and talk like that. Like, no, you don't do that. And the reporter, Parker, that's the lowest of low I've ever heard in an interview being asked. Like, they're instigating, like, causing more drama than there needs to be bringing out of these drivers during their interviews. Like, stop. Just stop. Anyway, like, I pretty much owned that race from, like, the get-go. He just had a fast car all day, strong. Could pass, like, anywhere, top, bottom, doesn't matter. He was just strong all day. Some drivers who had issues was Almirola struggled. Chase struggled but finished in the top 10. Kevin Harvick was never really a factor because he was struggling to be in the top 10 today. It was just a weird race, to say the least, but a good race. Now my driver is in possibly a must-win situation. We have to outrun Kurt Busch and Truex to get into the final four, because the other two are literally in must-wins because they're so deep in the hole. It always seems like Chase has to battle in these playoffs, like always battle. Like round of 16 was the roughest for him. Second round was a great one for him. One bad race was just Talladega in that round. This round is gonna be another challenge, but it's nothing the 9 team can't handle. That team has battled all season, and it's coming down to the wire. It's a hit or miss at Texas, so we'll see how that goes. It is a 1.5 mile track, and he just won last week at Kansas. He's a 1.5 mile, but he's really good at Phoenix. But we just have to outsmart Harvick, who is like one of the masters at Phoenix, who's won 9 times. So we have to outsmart him and see if Harvick makes any more mistakes on pit road or speeding or whatever. So we have to capitalize on one of the big 3 to make a mistake, or Kurt Busch to make a mistake, so we have some kind of chance. This is the second straight year Chase has been in the round of 8, so whether he wigs it or not, I'm proud of him. The whole 9 team should be super proud of their run this season. I know it didn't start out that great, but 2019 I feel like it's going to be like just a dominance for the Chevys, since Ford is switching over to Mustang, and they're going to struggle a little bit. So it's going to be a battle between the Chevys and Toyotas next year, basically. Yeah, so I head to Texas next week, and I get to go to Phoenix race weekend. I'm so excited. I need some time off from work because I'm exhausted. 3 days of just NASCAR, and I take my mom to the truck race, which will be exciting. I love night races, so it'll be fun. Hopefully I get to meet Chase with the new infield and interactive garages and stuff like that, so that'll be fun. I hope to meet him. He meets some of my drivers, and hopefully see Chase win or just run really, really well. So have a good night.